You're tuned into Ultimate Universal Talk.
Shrek!
A.K.A.
Shrek, I'm a donkey! I'm a donkey, Shrek!
With Mr. Universe, Landon Doe.
Why is it Donald Duck wearing any pants, pervert?
Welcome to Ultimate Universal Talk, a.k.a. Talk. My name is Landon Doan, and first, we're going to talk about the preview, the new Hagrid ride coming to Universal Islands of Adventure. Later, we're going to tell you how staying at Disney's Coronado Springs is un-American. But first, we're going to talk to Garrett Krutsinger, who recently went down to Universal. Garrett, what did you think of Universal, and why is it better than Disney?
It was pretty cool, and there's Harry Potter.
Right, wasn't it super cool? Garrett, why do you think that staying at Disney Coronado Springs is un-American?
I don't know. I've never been.
It's a really interesting thought there, Garrett. I'm joined with my guest, Garrett Krutzing, who recently went down to Universal Talk. You're listening to Ultimate Universal Talk, a.k.a.
Hey, wait. What is going on in here? Are you trying to do a Universal podcast? What do you think this is? This is the Monday Morning Monorail Studio. Get out of here, you jabronis. Hit the theme music.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail Podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and I am joined by a basket full of chicken nuggets. Let's go around the table, and we're going to go backwards this time and introduce first, joining us via the magical Monday Morning Monorail video chat, is Samantha from Orlando. What's going on? From Orlando. Well, currently from Orlando.
I am in Orlando and from here at the moment.
But Samantha Monorail joining us, and also on the magical Monday Morning Monorail video chat hotline is one Landon the Dawsdone. Landon, welcome back to the Monorail.
Always fun to be on the Monorail, and I'm just coming from Knoxville.
And by the way,
I'm from Knoxville.
Knoxville, and today is your birthday. Happy birthday, Landon.
Happy birthday, 21.
Right, absolutely. I can finally start drinking legally. I hear it's so cool. And by the way, this is not an April Fool's joke. Today is literally my birthday.
No, he's our favorite April Fool.
And he's not as old as Frank Cardillo.
True.
Yeah.
True facts. Hashtag true facts. And then in the room with me today, across the table, is
Bozo the Clown.
Bozo the Clown. I'm ready to play the grand prize game. Have you got the buckets lined up?
We're in progress of the buckets. They've currently got holes. We're going to fix it. Don't worry.
All right. Well, yeah, let's plug up the buckets. And to my right is none other than Buckets himself.
Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Uh-oh.
Big
You're going to
Mac.
get another phone call from the McDonald's Corporation.
Wait a minute. Big Mac. Wait, hey, this is appropriate because officially the Major League Baseball season has started. Are you a big fan of Big Mac, Mark McGwire?
No.
Who? Yeah, well, kids these days. Listen, back in the day when it was okay for everybody to use steroids, baseball was a lot more fun. We were jacking home runs every time up to the plate, and Mark McGwire hit in one season. Mark McGwire hit 237 home runs. It was incredible. It was best season ever. Sammy Sosa hit 236. He almost.
But he did that in one game, so that's kind of more impressive.
But the rest of the season, no home runs for Sammy Sosa. Yep. But you see,
crazy.
Steroids are very hard on your body, and so he was out like the rest of the year because he just had injuries. That was game one, 236 home runs, out the rest of the year.
Sounds like a great plan. I say we should all do steroids.
But hey, I'm just telling you, it leads to more entertaining baseball. That's all I'm saying.
Ringo uses steroids.
Oh my gosh, Ringo is on steroids.
He is on steroids, but he's not jacking any home runs. Maybe we need to get him in the batting cage.
Yeah.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah, they do. That's what puts butts in the seats. Well, welcome back. This isn't baseball talk. It's not Universal talk. This is Monday Morning Monorail, the podcast about Walt Disney World and the Walt Disney World Resort. This is episode number 50, and today is April the 1st. So welcome to April, and this is the month of Landon, and it's very appropriate because Landon, You've got a trip coming up in what now, like 8 days?
I am T-minus 8 days from going down to Walt Disney.
Oh, baby.
I could not be more happy. Like, there is a not 0% chance that I'm just going to break down and start sobbing as soon as I walk into the parks. That's how excited I am. And I'm there for 5 days, so I'm probably going to just, like, ugly cry 5 times. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, for your birthday, this show today is all about you, my friend, and we're going to help you get prepared for that trip coming up in 8 days. We're going to kind of weave in our little trip report from last week, our spring break trip down to Walt Disney World.
So it's not all about you.
Yes,
Sorry.
it is, because it's all in service of helping Landon plan the best possible trip he can have when he goes down.
Yeah, we need to do Disney, or Dawes does Disney right.
Exactly. So
hashtag Dawes does Disney.
Yeah, so we're going to tie it all back to Landon, and it is the show of Landon. It's the month of Landon.
I'm just glad it took 50 episodes for your family's podcast to finally be about me. It's about time. Thank you. It's been a fun ride.
We've come around, yeah. All right, so let's get started, and we're going to talk a little bit about, just to set up the foundation, about the things that we experienced last week, some of the things that we did. We actually, as a family, had a lot of first-time experiences at Walt Disney World, and I said this last week on my little intro and outro I recorded to my pitiful 2 clips of recording that I did in the Walt Disney World parks.
It would have been 3.
It would have been at least 3.
Someone would have pressed the record button.
Yeah, I forgot to hit record on that Jewel we recorded in, or quote unquote recorded in Epcot.
Did you say Jewel?
The Jewel. Oh, come on, McKenna. Kids these days, all they can think about is vaping. She wants to step outside and hit that Jewel. Anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mango Pod Gang.
Don't be a loser.
Don't vape. It's lame.
Yeah, and actually that ties to some Disney World news, but we'll get back to that. But what I was going to say is that I mentioned that even, I've been going my whole life, and now we've taken the kids have been several times, and there's still things that we're experiencing for the first time ever. Some of them may be shocking to you, so hold on to your seats. And, of course, Sam, she wasn't able to join us every day that we were in the parks, but she did manage to come out a couple of times, and we still got some good quality Disney time in with Samantha Monorail as well. We're going to talk all about that. Just to get started, so when we got there, we arrived Saturday. Saturday night, we went over to Wilderness Lodge, because Sunday we picked up Garrett from the resort that will not be named on this podcast. But Saturday, we went over to Wilderness Lodge, and we tried, for the first time ever, Whispering Canyon Cafe. And so I just wanted to quickly talk about that. There was a lot of rambunctious activity going on, but it wasn't like crazy over the top where it felt like you were just in the middle of like a Chuck E. Cheese or something.
That's how I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel like I was in the middle of, like, in the ocean and people were throwing bread at me. That's the feeling that I was trying to get.
Shut up. I
What
think
a weird way
my
to
favorite part was the snuggle old man who was our server. He
was
came
so
up and he
nice.
was like, "Howdy, partners," and he tried so hard to have a southern accent, and it was the most adorable thing. I'm pretty sure I would have hugged him if it wouldn't have been inappropriate. So.
Yeah.
Man, y'all had quite the evening, it sounds like.
It's all about the servers and the experience they bring you. And I think it's true. I would say the same thing about when we went to 50s Prime Time. Your experience is going to be greatly affected by the server and how much bought into that experience they are and how much they bring it to you. And ours, he was really good. He wasn't like crazy over the top, but he was still in the spirit of the thing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. And like we asked him to bring us waters, and he was like, okay, but it comes out of the lake out back, so I'll just have to go get, stuff
No,
like...
he said he had to get it from the pond.
Oh, the pond. Sorry, the pond
He
out
said
back.
it's pond water.
Yeah.
And he was so snuggly. He's like a papaw. It was adorable.
Yeah, Sam apparently really liked your server.
Yeah, he was a cute old man.
He'd shuffle around with that tray in his hand.
What was he, like Mole Man from The Simpsons or something?
Maybe.
Okay, then I get it. Yeah, he is snuggly.
Well, it was a fun meal. It's a good place for families. They do have individual entrees you can order. We ordered a pig skillet,
Yeah.
which was an all-you-care-to-eat. All 3 of us got it. It's $33 a person, but it includes braised pork belly, maple chipotle barbecue ribs, slow smoked pulled pork, mustard barbecue piggy wings, and then Western style sausage along with potatoes, corn, and green beans.
And the piggy wings were so good.
That sounds good. I would eat that.
It was very tasty. And if you compare that to, like, if you go to any buffet at Walt Disney World, you know, you're paying like $30 to $45, somewhere in that range. So this is all you care to eat. It's a similar kind of experience. So
they do have a plant-based one for anyone out there who
vegetarians.
is a vegetarian.
They do have a plant-based skillet. And then they have one that's Landon Sea that includes salmon.
I thought you meant
Landon.
me.
Yes, I told you we're tying it back to you. It's Landon and the Landon skillet, Landon Sea skillet. But yeah,
it's a bunch of fried chicken and chicken fingers. I don't understand what a fish. Like.
It was really, really good, and we really enjoyed
We had
that
good
experience.
drinks too.
Yeah, I was going to mention. So I ordered the blackberry moonshine lemonade. It was $12.50, and it was very tasty. I got a nice picture of it. I'll have to put it out there. And then did you get an old fashioned? What did you get?
No, I got, and I can't remember, and I was trying to look it up.
So I think you got something that was similar to like a Manhattan, right?
Yeah, yes.
Overall, good experience, right? We'd go back to Whispering Canyon.
I would go back, and we should bring Garrett, too.
I know I would go back.
Garrett would go back for the first time. And then we did a little touring of the resort, but then we stepped outside and visited Geyser Point for a second time. And just got some drinks out there. McKenna, you had a ginger beer.
I did, and it was very good. And they're not alcoholic,
right.
So don't get mad at me.
And that's where Mom got her old fashioned. You got a bullet old fashioned.
Yes,
right?
I did, and it was delicious.
Which inspired others around you to get the same thing after you got it. And
spreading that old people taste.
But I know I was making people jealous with my frozen pina colada. It was pink and frozen and looked delicious, and it was delicious, and I don't care. It was a fruity drink, and I enjoyed my fruity drink.
Hey, you're on vacation. Enjoy what you enjoy, man.
Yeah. Hey, we're by the water. It just felt like I wanted something tropical. And we timed it out to where we were actually outside when Happily Ever After started at the Magic Kingdom. So we ended up stepping away from Geyser Point, and we walked over. There's a little patio that overlooks the lake. And you can kind of step out there, and you have to, because the fireworks are definitely obstructed by trees and the Wilderness Lodge. You can barely see the stuff that goes like kind of way up in the sky, but they do pump in the Happily Ever After music at Geyser Point, so you can hear it. But immediately after, the electrical water pageant started, and it was right off the shore where we were standing. So we got to see the electrical water pageant. I think that was the first time I've probably seen it in like 15, 20 years.
It was the first time I've ever seen
it.
So
there's one of our firsts. Garrett, I don't think you'd seen it aside from watching the YouTube video.
Garrett
no, you weren't there.
I saw it a different day.
No, you never saw it.
No, I did.
When did you see
it? He saw it.
I saw it.
Go past us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were going out of Magic Kingdom after Wishes and waited on buses to take us to the parking lot.
And then you guys saw it.
Yeah.
It wasn't Wishes, by the way. Wishes is gone.
Happily Ever After.
What's it called?
Happily Ever After.
I keep getting it confused.
I'm still holding out for Wishes, too. Yeah.
Wishes Part 2.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
More wishes.
And the good thing about the Geyser Point was we left our drinks at the bar, and we didn't get roofied. That's a win for me.
This time.
This time.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No one spit in my drink, I hope.
So now we can get to the important stuff that really affects you, Landon, because I know you're not planning a Wilderness Lodge visit on this trip.
No, I am going to be hitting up the parks, and I originally was going to be going to some of the resorts to partake in some of the food. I had reservations, and I found myself canceling a whole bunch of reservations for food.
More
and stuff.
park time.
Yeah, more park time. That's why I'm going down there. So,
yeah. Okay. So we started our week at Epcot. We actually Monday morning we went over to Epcot. We got there a little bit after it opened because we all, I think, were a little tired Sunday night. We slept in a little bit. I was kind of thinking back. I think this was my first time ever going to the parks, staying at a non-Disney resort. I can't ever remember doing that because at least it was a partner resort I stayed at. It may not have been like one of the Disney resorts, but it was at least a partner resort. So driving there, having to go through the parking and go through all that, I've never had to do that. I don't remember it at least.
Get used to it.
Yeah. So it was an interesting experience for me. Epcot, of course, you get to, you park right at Epcot. It was pretty simple. They've got the tram that takes you up, and then we had to go through bag check. And I didn't know really what to expect about crowd levels for the week I knew it was going to be busy. It was spring break. According to touringplans.com, I had checked, and all the parks were supposed to be like a 7 and 8. It had to be 9s and 10s all week, because the day that we were at Epcot, even the Grand Fiesta Tour had like a 45-minute wait. Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. So we ended up not right, because we went into the Mexico Pavilion. I've never seen the line for the Grand Fiesta Tour so long. You couldn't even move around in the pavilion because the line was backed up so far. So we were like, yeah, I guess we're not going to do that one right now. Yeah. And we moved on. But it was nuts, and it was kind of like that all week. But as far as first-time experience, so the International Flower and Garden Festival is going on right now, Landon. So one of the things that you'll be able to see are the topiaries that are dispersed throughout the parks. They're amazing. I mean, you get to see as soon as you go in.
The Kermit one.
Yeah, you got to see. And it's kind of fun, like, walking around and trying to find them all, because, some of them are not obviously placed. So you kind of have to do some exploring in the World Showcase Pavilion to, like, really find all of them.
Also, go back, if you can, like, actually travel back into the countries. We've never really traveled throughout all of the countries before. They're
until
really
this week.
Cool. Yeah.
Is there, speaking on the festival going on down there, Epcot has all these awesome foods and drinks. Was there anything that y'all partook that is that's an exclusive, I guess, right now for the festival that you would recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did try some of the food booths, and we didn't get to try as much as probably we wanted to. McKenna, what was your favorite?
So I got this tea that had like blueberries in it. I don't remember what it was called.
I'm about to tell you.
Really good.
I took note of it. You got the blueberry, lemon, and ginger tea, which came from the Trowel and Trellis booth.
I'm a big fan of ginger, apparently, but I really liked it.
That was your favorite thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so good. It was refreshing. And
$4. Yeah, $4.25.
It was really good.
Not a bad price. And yeah, she was reluctant to get it, I think.
I was.
And then and you turned out to be glad that you got it. I thought you were going to go with poutine.
The poutine was good, but that's not an exclusive.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. We got the two kinds. We got the traditional poutine, and then we got the brisket poutine, and the brisket poutine was way better. Just FYI.
Oh my God, really I didn't know brisket poutine was an option.
It had beer cheese on it, and it was delicious.
Yeah, and I don't have the name of the booth that we got it from, but I'll tell you this: if you're going into World Showcase, you want to go. We went counterclockwise, so like you're starting on the Canada side, and it's over to the right. Before you ever get into Canada, there's a booth that has poutine. It's like right there, and so that's where we got it from, and it was.
They do have poutine there at the other ones. I think they do variations of the poutine, because they still have like the Bloody Mary there too and stuff like that. So it is pretty consistent. Like I think last time, that was the lobster chips, but they had poutine and stuff. So
okay.
Yeah.
Garrett, you want to talk about your favorite thing you got from the food booths?
Oh, the pizza.
Yeah, the pizza.
But that wasn't specifically for Flower and Garden.
No, it wasn't. I don't think I had anything that was
from the booths
specific.
This came from. So I'm just wrong about where all this stuff came from, apparently. But it came from the Primavera Kitchen. It was the Pizza Toscana, and you really liked it. Okay, so this wasn't a special item, but he enjoyed it. We also got something called Zeppola, which is a ricotta cheese fritter with powdered sugar, raspberry, and chocolate hazelnut drizzle. And
that was really good.
Let me just tell you, amazing. So good.
That does sound amazing. Oh, my God.
And it almost got Garrett attacked by a seagull because...
Yeah, a seagull landed on my table whenever I was protecting it, and it aggressively looked at me.
Yeah, it was... These tables are not big, by the way.
Every once in a while, it would charge at it, and I would have to get it to back off.
So all over World Showcase, they've got these circular standing tables that, so basically you have a place to sit your food and drink and enjoy it and then move along. And they're, about the size of, like, how maybe 2 feet across. They're not very large. So... The seagull landed on the table just opposite Garrett and was just waiting to make its move. And because Garrett was
stared at me.
Yeah, Garrett was guarding the food. Garrett was guarding the food while McKenna and I went over to the Lotus House, and we got the Szechuan spicy red braised beef shank over rice.
And we got wontons.
We didn't get wontons from the booth, did we? Did you?
No, we got crab rangoons.
The crab. It was the crab,
which were good.
Yeah, it's like crab rangoon. They call it something else, but yeah, it's crab and cream cheese fried. So it's and it was really good. And then you also got a bubble tea.
I did get a bubble tea.
And you're not a fan of the bubbles.
I don't like
the boba.
I don't like the boba in it, the tapioca pearls, but I like the drink itself. Like I always like the drink itself. I just don't like the pearls in the drink because I don't like chewing my drink, so I just don't drink those.
So bubble tea.
I don't understand the obsession with the bubble tea thing.
I don't either. I don't get it.
It's just a novelty. I got a Kung Fu Punch to drink, which was $10, and it's a adult cocktail, and it was very good. It was a nice compliment, I felt like, to the spicy red braised beef shank. But I will tell you, it definitely had you could tell there was like Chinese influence on the taste. To me, it tasted like a pot roast, almost. Like the beef tasted like a pot roast, but it was still really good.
And the rice was really good with the sauce, too, under it.
Man, I made a mistake not eating lunch before I asked you all this question.
Right. But here's some advice I'll give you. So there are so many options of food and beverages all throughout the World Showcase. You need to find a good resource that has a list of the menus before you go, and maybe make note of some things that you definitely want to try. But here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go in and try to like walk by the booths and get an idea as you go, because you're going to end up all the way on the other end of World Showcase, and you're going to tell yourself, man, I wish I'd gotten that Szechuan beef back in China.
Yeah,
and you're on the other, because that is exactly what happened to us.
Because Garrett wanted pizza, but I still didn't know what I wanted, and I was like, the Chinese stuff sounded really good, but I might as well go explore. It's a lot bigger than I always think it is. I always think it's so much smaller, but it's huge.
It's a long walk, and plus with it being as crowded as it was a pain to try to navigate through the crowds just to get, like, we weren't just like casually strolling looking at things. We had a mission. We were trying to go get that Szechuan beef, and people were in our way, right? So
yeah, Morty,
yeah. So.
And I got to try something there, but
I was going to mention
didn't ask.
No. I was actually, that's where I was going next, because that was not on Monday. That was when you got to join us on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you tried
street corn.
Street corn, yeah.
Street corn. Now, what is that?
It's corn on the cob, but they had garlic and butter and seasoning all over it. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yes, please and thank you.
Yeah, it's grilled corn.
And and that also came from the Trowel and Trellis. That's $5.50.
That one, that's the flower and garden booth.
Mm-hmm.
I will pay $5.50 for that street corn. That sounds amazing.
It's so good. I was eating it, and there was corn like flying out of my face, because it's on a cob, and I was like, this is fine. I don't care. Judge me. So good.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of options, but really do your homework before you go, because you're either going to miss something that you just don't see when you're walking around, or you're going to run into that problem of you're on the wrong end of World Showcase and you wanted something else. So it's way better to go in prepared.
That's a good suggestion.
And there's like a pavilion that has like it has like a little beverage, and there's some little snack foods to counter, and then there's an open area where there's some shopping, but people can go in there and cool off a little bit. And they also have like baby station and a first aid station in there, so people don't really go in there. And I went in there and got a beer flight, and it was pretty well. The watermelon rind beer was disgusting. I don't know who thought a watermelon rind would make a tasty beer. Yeah, but the lemon ginger beer was really good. It's like a Leinenkugel, the summer shandy, except for tastier.
Yeah. So and what you're talking about is actually in the old Odyssey restaurant. So and it's on the other end of World Showcase. So it's on the Mexico side. So if you're on the side where Test Track is and you're going to go clockwise around World Showcase, that's where the Odyssey is before you get into World Showcase. Yeah.
I'm
kind of morbidly curious over that watermelon rind beer, if I'm being honest.
I drank it, and actually, whenever I first took a drink, I made a horrible face. And there was a cast member, and they're kind of picking up some stuff, and he saw me do it, and he goes, "Was that gross?" And I said, "Yeah, it was awful." And he goes, "What is it?" And I told him it was the watermelon rind beer, and he was like, "Well, don't drink it." And I was like, "Well, I paid a lot of money for it."
Yeah, that's not how that works here. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he just got a kick out of the fact that I just kept drinking it because I was like, this was $4.
It's almost like drinking Beverly. You have to go back to remind yourself like how disgusting it is.
Oh man, that video y'all put out, I could feel the hurt in all y'all's faces. Regret instantly. Oh, that was great.
Yeah,
The
that's
rest
right.
of the sodas are really good, but
There's some good ones, yeah.
Really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Never had Beverly.
Make sure you, because
You have to have it when you're
Yeah,
there.
I want to.
Club Cool is going to be shutting down soon, so make sure you stop by and get a shot of Beverly before you go in. It's good. It's good to do. Let's talk about some first-time experiences at Epcot. So we did Soarin' Around the World this time,
Yeah,
and what thoughts did you all have about it?
I liked
it a lot.
Yeah.
So good reviews from the kids. Enjoyed. I know we talked a little bit about it on the live in-park recordings. You
Yeah.
enjoyed the smells.
Yeah, the smells were really nice.
And it's a nice, easy breezy kind of ride. For me, I thought it was fine. I definitely don't see any reason to wait like hours for that.
No.
That's like 30 minutes or less, or Fast Pass. Otherwise, no reason to wait for it. We did Frozen Ever After for the first time.
Yeah.
I like that. It was really cool.
Yeah, on the old Maelstrom track.
I wish it was still Maelstrom.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. And Landon, I think it's pretty cool because there are some advanced effects, cool animatronics in there that it's worth it to see.
And the track is really cool. I like the track a lot.
The
And
track-
it fits with the songs, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
The track was the same as Maelstrom, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would have been cool to see that with the Vikings.
Yeah.
I do not have a fast pass for Frozen Ever After. Would this be a ride that you would suggest standing in line for?
We waited a little over 45 minutes, and I think we probably waited too long. Like, since we've
Yeah, I
done it
wouldn't have
now,
waited that
I wouldn't wait that long again.
I might.
Okay, so Garrett might.
If it was Vikings, I would wait that long. I love Vikings.
So,
I
Well,
really
if it was
like
Vikings,
this
it would have been a
version.
5-minute wait. That's why the Maelstrom went away, unfortunately.
yeah. I think if you could catch it, like, make sure to pay attention to the My Disney Experience app and watch the wait times. And if you can catch it, if it's like 30 minutes or less or something, yeah, do it. I would do it. We also did, it was kind of interesting. This was the first time we've ever done Mission Space Green. We have always done Mission Space Orange, which is the Mission to Mars, and it's the more intense experience. Mission Space Green actually is a totally different experience because it's not only does it not spin, so you don't have to worry about the potential motion sickness and that feeling the rest of the day. It's actually a totally different thing. So you just go out into space and kind of do a circle around Earth and then come back in and land back on the planet. So the wait was what, 10 minutes? Or did we get Fast Pass? No, we didn't.
No.
We only waited like 15 minutes for it. And I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
We were essentially what we were doing at that point was we were waiting on our test track window to come up because we did get fast passes for test track. And so we had a little time and I was like, why not go do Mission Space Green? We've never done it. And I think if you're a person who's very sensitive to motion sickness, it's a cool way to still experience the ride because I'll tell you, once you're in the capsule, it still does some of the movement. It just doesn't spin like the other one does. I still felt like it was a pretty immersive, cool experience. So I think it's a good option.
I felt a little motion sick after it.
I didn't.
I can get very sensitive to motion sickness sometimes.
Okay. And this one still got you?
A little. It wasn't as much as Orange.
Orange.
It's kind of hard to make me motion sick.
I get motion sick. I'm kind of in the middle of you two, I guess, now, because Orange does make me motion sick, but one of the things I would say, like when you do Mission Space Orange, you have to keep your eyes in front of you and open the whole time staring at your screen, because if you look to the sides or anything, it's going to be bad. Really bad news.
Orange didn't make me motion sick, and I didn't even look at the screen the whole time.
Yeah, so you've got like an iron constitution, but I'm not quite there anymore.
I can't read things in
Not
the
when
car
it comes-
without getting motion sick.
Not when it comes to VR, though.
Yeah, but then McKenna, this one got you. So it's something to keep in mind, but it is at least, if you want to do the Mission Space, you are a little bit motion sensitive, then green, I think, is a good option. The only other thing I was going to mention was just a quick story from Epcot on Monday. The crowd level had one other unexpected consequence that we weren't prepared for. Garrett is a huge fan of the Mickey pretzel, and he had kind of been saying throughout the day that he really wanted to get a Mickey pretzel. I was like, we'll get you a pretzel. Don't worry. They're everywhere. Like almost every cart has a Mickey pretzel. We get to the end of the day, no carts had Mickey pretzels. They were gone. Like from every cart, there were no... We went to at least 3 or 4 different carts, no pretzels in the park. So I was like, Garrett, I know of one more cart. It's over by Test Track. Let's go over there because we were headed towards the Test Track for our Fast Pass anyway. We head over there, get to the cart, and we can see it as we're walking up. No Mickey pretzels. So Garrett gets very disappointed. We're getting very close to having like a little bit of a breakdown just from disappointment. And I was like, look, I know that in Germany they have those big pretzels that they make, and they make them there. I'm sure I'm sure they've got them. So anyway, I was like, you guys stay here. I'll run to Germany and go get a pretzel, and then I'll come back. They sit down, and then as I'm running, like Garrett's texting, he's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. I don't need a pretzel. I see this cart being pushed up, like a warming cart, like a baking cart, being pushed up to a food cart that's between me and getting towards like where Innoventions would be. And I see some people starting to come over and line up, and I was like, oh my gosh, fresh pretzels. So I run up. There were a couple people in front of me, and they all got like 5 pretzels each. I was like, please don't get all the...
Oh my God, why was there a run on pretzels at Epcot that day?
I don't know. So I ended up...
Are they a form of currency or something?
They're really good, and they're Mickey-shaped, and we all know Mickey-shaped food is better.
That is true.
So I was lucky I got 2 of them, but I told them when I got there, I was like, oh, thank goodness, we were having a pretzel crisis over here. And the cast member said... She's like, I don't know what's up today, but no one in the park has pretzels. Like, they're all gone from everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
That's insane.
The lesson here is, if you're passing
buy a pretzel if you see it.
If you're passing a cart and you're like, I'd like to have that, you should probably just go ahead and get it, because you never know what's going to happen. That's that's the lesson. You don't want to have a Disney breakdown later.
So Justin's lesson to me is spend more money at the Disney parks. Got it.
That is not exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But Disney is okay with that message if that's what you took away from it.
Yeah. Let's talk about Hollywood Studios. One thing we saw when we got there was gondola testing as we pulled up.
Oh my gosh, yes. I actually have a video of the gondolas moving.
And they were moving. They were moving all right. And we did see the uncovered one, the yellow one. It was making an appearance. And my observation was that obviously they can stop the cables if they need to, because we saw it start and stop several times as we were watching it. So if someone needed some extra time or something to get on, they could do that. But once the gondolas go in the station, it seems like it takes them 2 or 3 minutes before they come back out. So if you kind of think about the way they load things like Spaceship Earth or the People Mover, like the continuous loading, and they try to keep it moving, but it moves slowly through the station, I think that's how they're going to work. But if there's someone that needs extra time, I guess they'll just stop the cables. But they look cool. I'm excited about the gondolas.
It'll be interesting to see what it's like in the sweat box.
I don't think it's going to be a sweat box. I really don't.
If they move as fast as they were, we shouldn't be in there.
But then people, like, I think the question comes up, like, if they're stopped and you're up on a cable.
Yeah.
And it's like 100 degrees. So I'm sitting at work yesterday, and it's like only 75 or something, close to 80 outside, but a little mini rainstorm comes through, and by mini I mean it rained for like not even 30 seconds, and it's not even that hot. I walk outside and my hair goes whoosh, and it just like frizzed up to like craziness, and it felt like I was in steam. Like I felt like I walked into a sauna.
Yeah.
Why are we moving there again?
It's pretty hot.
Resounding endorsement from Samantha Monorail.
I'm just saying, how are they going to keep those gondolas cool when the weather is like that here?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
See. Who knows? We'll just have to test it out.
The answer is they're not.
We're going to be guinea pigs. We're going to ride them all day. We'll figure it out.
I'll be like, hey, I'm going to ride the gondolas so I can lose 5 pounds today.
It's like a sauna. Yeah. We didn't really do any new things at Hollywood Studios because, Star Wars hasn't opened yet. Lightning McQueen Racing Academy, which is, as of this recording, is opening Sunday.
Really?
So now that it's Monday, April 1st, it's open, so people can start experiencing the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy. But we didn't get to do that.
I think it's in a weird spot.
It is in a weird spot. It's over there by Rock and Roller Coaster, and yeah, everything is weird in Hollywood Studios right now.
Yeah.
We did eat lunch at Woody's Lunchbox. We did the mobile ordering. Here's some takeaways. Breakfast is better, in my opinion, from Woody's Lunchbox. The breakfast is really good. Lunch is still good. McKenna got a barbecue brisket melt.
Which was good. It was pretty good.
Garrett got the tachos.
The tachos were amazing.
And they were really good. They were probably the best thing we ordered.
What's a tacho? I assume it's some sort of taco.
No,
it's a nacho thing, but instead of like, well, they have Fritos in them, but they also have tater tots.
Have you ever had like a Frito pie, or or basically like a Petro? Yeah. Add potato. They call them potato barrels. Add tater tots into it. That's tachos.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's like chili with Fritos and tater tots in
and
it.
cheese, sour cream,
yeah,
all that stuff. It's
really
I would
good.
eat that.
And they were really good.
I stuffed my mouth with it.
Yeah. I had the smoked turkey sandwich, and I had a side of tomato basil soup. Surprisingly, the tomato basil soup was actually pretty good. The turkey sandwich was just fine. And then I had a grown-up lemonade, which was good. I don't know why Andy has alcohol at his lunchbox, but he does.
Hey, don't question it.
He's having a
Exactly.
party.
Yeah, we don't know what was going on with his mom when she packed her lunch. Maybe some stuff is happening at home. I mean, those movies do get really dark.
Yeah.
They do. And by the way, an all-day item at Woody's Lunchbox are those Pop-Tarts.
The
those tarts. Oh my gosh. And they sparkle and they're delicious.
Yeah.
I've looked at those online and they do look good. And the fast passes I do have for Hollywood Studio are going to put me there in the morning. So I'm definitely going to try and get some breakfast.
Do it.
Yeah.
And mobile order. So the line is usually pretty long at Woody's Lunchbox. Make sure you mobile order because it's super easy. You step up there, order on your phone, and then you get to go around to a special window just for mobile ordering. They call your name when it's ready. And all you have to do is you click you're there, like on the app, just like if you have the Chick-fil-A mobile order app or anything like that. You tell them you're there, they make it, they call your name. It's easy peasy. The only thing about Woody's Lunchbox is no seating. There is not nearly enough seating. And people have terrible manners, and they love to hold tables when they don't have food, and it's a real problem. I mean,
Just sit down. What are they going to do?
when we went there after Toy Story Land had first opened, you couldn't get to the tables unless you went through the line and had a tray. So I don't know why they've opened it up now, but they shouldn't have. So
Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah,
So don't expect to sit is what you're
you
telling me.
may not be able to. You may have to just I don't know, put your tray on
I'm
top of a
fine
garbage
eating on
can.
the go. That's okay. I can walk and eat at the same time.
Yeah, but yeah, that was probably the big takeaway from the studios. We did a little bit of explore. The only other thing I thought about was after we did Muppet Vision 3D, we went into the Muppet store.
Say it. Don't
And
say it.
I know I put this on Twitter, but it's so sad. There is no Muppets merchandise
They
left.
don't have the piggy ears there anymore.
Like there's one little display that has some Muppets plushies and some Muppet shirts. Otherwise, that whole store is just random Disney stuff. There's a lot of Stitch for some reason, but that store when we were there in July was all Muppets.
Yeah, it was really cool. And they had
There was
hats.
just a little bit of Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's
stuff in
right.
it.
Yeah, there was some Nightmare Before Christmas, but the
But
rest of it was all
mostly
Muppets.
Muppets.
Yeah, and that's where you got your piggy ears, and they're not there anymore. And so it's
And
things are
everyone
looking.
likes my piggy ears.
Yeah, things are looking bleak for the Muppets.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's sad.
They could do so much with the Muppets. There's so much possibility there, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys wanted to say about the studios? Any tips for Landon?
So on Slinky Dog, if you of course, enjoy the ride, but if you look, you can see into Galaxy's Edge.
It's true.
They've got the spaceship built.
Oh yeah, the food truck spaceship. You can see it when you
It's
go
awesome.
up. Yeah, on one of the big.
That's cool.
It all looked awesome from up there.
Yeah, you get a really good view into Galaxy's Edge from Slinky Dog. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have a fast pass for Slinky Dog.
So you should probably rope drop Slinky Dog.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rope drop for Slinky.
Yeah. It's
everything else in Hollywood Studio that I want to see. I was fortunate enough to get a fast pass for, but Slinky Dog, by the time my fast pass window opened, was already claimed.
Yeah, and here's the other thing you need to do though is watch throughout the day, because if you use the My Disney Experience app, they release fast passes throughout the day. Additional fast
You just
passes.
have to watch for it and take the time every hour just to look. Landon, what day are you going to Hollywood Studios?
I believe that's a Wednesday. Let me pull up. Yeah, I am there Wednesday, April the 10th, and my first fast pass is for Toy Story Mania at 9:50.
Because I was going to tell you on Hollywood Studio Day, I could meet you out there and we could go to dinner somewhere because it's not an all-day park anymore.
Okay,
For
that
now,
sounds good. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm. The last thing I have is Tower of Terror, 12:50 to 1:50. So yeah.
Make sure to do Muppets.
Yeah, do the Muppets.
Make sure.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do Star
They tell
Tours.
them they need to save the Muppets.
Save the
I'm gonna
Muppets.
have to speak to a manager. As a matter of fact.
Do it.
Please.
Yeah, those are my thoughts on, and it's true. We ended up leaving at like 4:00.
Yeah, we didn't stay for long.
We didn't stay long at Hollywood Studios.
That might be one of the afternoons I head over to Disney Springs, and I also need to double check when my Void reservation is, because I'm going to do the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
The Wreck-It Ralph one, I still haven't seen Ralph Breaks the Internet, so that might happen. But the Star Wars one, it's down.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it!
It's so cool.
I can't wait to hear what you think about it when you're done. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about our Animal Kingdom Day really quick. So we were determined to get there and actually rope drop Animal Kingdom because we didn't have Flight of Passage fast passes, and we were like, we are going to do Flight of Passage on this trip. So we're rope dropping. We got there at what? The park. Let's say the park opened at 9. We were in the park at 8:40, and that's not early enough because by the time we got there. So you take a left at the Tree of Light, start heading towards Tree of Life, start heading towards Pandora. There are 2 entrances to Pandora. The first one is the bridge that goes past the Nomad Lounge. We saw, there was a cast member holding a sign, line for Flight of Passage starts here. We're like, all right, let's get lined up. And of course, we're backed up. We're not even in Pandora, but I was like, I bet you they haven't opened up the show building since the park's not officially open yet, so we're probably not that far back. So then as we start walking towards Pandora, we look over and we can see the bridge that's coming out of Africa going into Pandora, and there's a line on that bridge.
And they wanted to tell me that line's not part of
and
it.
I was like,
it's for something else.
I was like, maybe those people are lined up for Navi. I don't know. I said, but the thing is, Navi's on the left from where we were standing, and Flight of Passage on the right. So I was like, but I'm sure we're in the Flight of Passage line. As we started to enter Pandora, it became very obvious that they wrapped us around the back of Pandora, out the bridge, out to Africa, and around, and we were in the back of that line. So it was at 8:40, 20 minutes before park opens, we were probably in a line that was going to be 2 hours.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get to the other side. We're actually headed the right direction, headed into Pandora from Africa. And we start hearing people saying that the ride's closed. I look on the app, and you can see the ride's shut down. And cast members start walking up and down, and they say, the ride's temporarily closed. We don't know how long it's going to be closed. You can move on and do something else. We can't guarantee that it'll even open back up today. And I told the kids, I was like, look, we were planning on waiting 60 minutes an hour to ride this. 60 minutes to 90 minutes to ride this. So let's wait just a little bit and see what happens, because a lot of these people may clear out and then we'll be up a lot closer. Well, people were clearing out because cast members continued. It was like a constant barrage.
This is not a line.
Yeah, they kept saying this is not a line.
It was a constant barrage of cast members walking up and down going, there is no line for Flight of Passage. Everyone just, and I was like, there is one. We're in it. This is it.
Fool. There is no line.
They were using Jedi mind tricks. Yeah. There's no line for Flight of Passage. Go elsewhere. Nothing to see here. It got to the point where we were right up to where the standby entrance is for Flight of Passage, where the gate was, where the chains were.
A little wall of cast members to keep.
Yeah, there was. It really was. It was like a wall. There was a wall. They were linked arms.
A little food cart, and blocked up one of the roped entrances area with the food cart.
And if anyone even made the appearance they were lining up, they would be sworn by cast. There is no line for Flight of Passage. Move along. So We sat down on like a wall in front of like a little planter.
I got a high five for not being in the line.
Yeah.
A cast member high five Garrett because we weren't in a line. We were just hanging around the area.
Because there was no line.
There was no line.
There's
yeah.
no such thing.
So we're hanging out, and all of a sudden, and we start hearing the rumors that what happened was someone pulled a fire alarm, and if a fire alarm goes off on either Navi or Flight of Passage, they have to evacuate both because they're in the same show building. So both rides were shut down, both rides were evacuated, and everybody was just lost, didn't know what to do. A news helicopter started flying over, so I was like, oh, maybe there is something going on.
I waved to it.
Yeah. So I looked at my watch and I was like, all right, Satu Lee Canteen is getting ready to open in like 10 minutes. Why don't we just go eat? Because all we'd had was like Pop-Tarts. I was like, let's go eat some lunch. And then by the time we do that, we'll come and check and maybe it'll be open. As soon. And we mobile ordered. No, we didn't. We went through the regular line.
We went because there was no line.
There was no line.
And it was cool.
They did like they did an opening ceremony for Satu Lee Canteen where they brought us in and they taught us to speak Navi.
I forgot all of it.
I forgot it too.
It.
Oh, Sivako, right? Sivako is like it's go with strength or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
That's one of the things they taught us. Anyway, so we're standing there. They make us recite that we're all now honorary Navi, and then we get our food.
By the way.
As soon as we get our food, Flight of Passage opens. As soon as we get our food.
Oh, look. The line for Flight of Passage is 175 minutes.
I opened the app. I opened the app. It hadn't been open for 10 minutes, and there was already like a 150-minute wait. So I was like, okay, well, I guess it's not meant to be today. So we went and did other things. Garrett.
You're instilling me with confidence, Jay.
Well, the thing is, if you want to do Flight of Passage and there's two things that can happen. One, you're going to need to rope drop, but you probably need to get to Animal Kingdom by 8. Like through security by 8. And then the other thing would be you got to do the fast pass trick of checking like every hour and just see if it opens up, because that worked for Sam. She was able to get Flight of Passage on the day that she was there. If you want it to be in your hands, rope drop. If you want to leave it to chance, then check fast pass throughout the day and see what happens. But that's another one of those things that I feel like you've got to find a way to do. For us, we finally got to see the entire Up, A Great Bird Adventure show. Garrett, I wanted you to talk about this one.
Very cool.
You're the bird guy. So
the birds were very cute.
Yeah.
There was a really big bird that pecked the camera, and that bird was amazing. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of macaws that were flying over.
But yeah, I was glad we did it. It was a good use of our time.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of birds, though. I don't want them to touch me or be near me.
I'm a huge fan of birds, and I want them to land on me.
They should have a bug show.
No, I would hate that. I would hate that so much.
I love bugs so much. See, I'm cool with the bugs. The bugs are my friends. Birds are not.
Birds
eat bugs. So that's another negative that I have about
birds. Birds beats bugs.
And bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
I wanted to say for the first time ever, we decided to try to single rider Expedition Everest because the line was so long. We had fast passes for Everest, but we were like, hey, why don't we try single rider and just see how fast we can get on? It said the single rider wait was 40 minutes, and it took us 20.
Yeah, it was really, really short.
It was very fast.
It was a good use of our time.
Yeah. The standby at the time was like 90 minutes, I think.
Insane.
Yeah, and we got on in 20 doing single rider. So, yeah, it was very fast. Garrett and McKenna were on the same train, right?
Yeah, me and Garrett got on the same train.
And then I was on a separate.
Yeah. And if you do single rider and you're not awkward, it's always nice to talk to the person that you're sitting next to because it just makes the ride easier for both of you.
And then after that, you may not be a single rider anymore.
Oh, wow. Maybe.
2 more things we did that I wanted to highlight at Animal Kingdom. We did get to finally meet Drunk Stormtrooper over at Nomad Lounge. And that was a good time. You guys got your churros that you love so much.
Yes.
They come with this special dipping sauce. They come with a vanilla, and then there's another one that's a chili strawberry dipping sauce. They're so good. I love the sauce. The kids won't use it.
I just like the churro. I love churros.
We know you love the sauce, Jay.
I love the sauce.
Dad gets lost in the sauce.
We were able to snag Kilimanjaro fast passes for the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
We rode Kilimanjaro at it was like 7:45 when we got on. The park closed at 8, and we
Yeah, and we didn't get to ride dinosaur, like I said several times.
You're right now. I'm talking about a positive thing.
Okay,
Let's
but
focus on the positive.
Dinosaur.
So we did the Sunset Safari. It was really, really cool, and there were animals out. It was a little harder
The lions. Oh.
Yeah, it was a little harder to spot some of the animals because it's dark. It was starting to get dark, but what we could see was really cool. And then, as McKenna was saying, as we went around the Lions Pride Rock,
Yeah.
they were up there, and our tour guide said to us that if we listen, we may be able to hear, because at nighttime when they start to wake up and get active, they tend to roar a little bit at night. And so they didn't do it while we were looking at them. We round the corner, and then they started roaring.
Oh, wow.
It was actually really
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so anything else we wanted to say about Animal Kingdom before?
So Animal Kingdom was the first day we decided to actually sit down and take an hour break, which was one of the best ideas we had.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then we started doing it for the other days. So if you're running around the park, we get caught up and we feel like we have to do stuff. If you just go and find a little area, you get a drink, maybe a snack, and you sit down in a little enclosed area. Like in Animal Kingdom, there was this Joffrey's coffee, and we got some coffee, and then we sat down in this box that had open windows, and it was just so nice, and it didn't make you feel as stressed, and it gave your feet a break, and you could get hydrated. It made it a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, it did, because what we found was that around 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, we were starting to hit a wall, and we would start to feel tired. We'd feel worn out, and so it was really good to find a place where you could get a refreshing drink, get a little snack, and then just relax for and don't rush yourself, 45 minutes, an hour, and then after that, we realized we felt totally refreshed.
I have something to say about Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Hakuna Matata.
Okay.
Great.
The place McKenna's talking about, by the way, was Royal Anandapur Tea Company, which is where we got our coffee from. And then there's this little deck that kind of juts out over the river, where if you look off the deck and to the left, you can see where they do Rivers of Light. And if you look to the right, you're looking towards Africa. But it's like a covered space, and we went and sat there, and it was really, really nice and calm and relaxing, off the beaten path. And it's like across from Yak and Yeti, so you'd be able to find it.
Yeah. I had reservations for Yak and Yeti. I love that place.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good piece of advice, McKenna.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And also, in this is the Magic Kingdom, but
we're moving on to the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. There's a fun game, and you can see stuff. If you actually look around and see people playing the game, then you get to see a lot of cool stuff. So
Yeah, that's true.
We played the Platypus game in Epcot.
We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. There's 2 games in the Magic Kingdom. There's Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
And then the Pirate.
And then there's a Pirate Adventure game. Yeah. And both of them, they have these little, the Pirate one has a map, and you go to different spots, and you actually have to perform certain activities to complete the quest. Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, you have a deck of cards, and you actually have to fight villains in different locations.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All you have to do is go to Town Hall, and they give you a starter pack of Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom cards. They're free, and you can get another pack every time you go and play. Yeah. And
all right, I might have to do this. I'm obviously a collectible card game dork, so that seems like that'd be up my alley.
Yeah, we had never played anything like that, but like McKenna said, we did the Agent P World Showcase Adventure in Epcot. We did all of it, and it was really good, and it's a similar kind of thing. So. Yeah, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. So, Magic Kingdom, surprisingly, a lot of first-time experiences again. So, one of the things that we did was we ate at Skipper Canteen for lunch.
Yeah.
The Jungle Cruise-themed restaurant.
Not for tiny children.
Yeah, it's probably not. The food is a little more adventurous. I mean, you can get things that are a little safer. I think they do have a kids menu where you can probably get, nuggets and stuff like that. But the menu...
I should have done that because I was feeling bad.
Yeah. That was the day Garrett started not feeling great, and we ended up we got him these chicken Thai noodles that
they were not good for my throat.
I told him
delicious.
I told him they weren't going to be spicy. They were definitely spicy.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it was really good. Now this again talked about earlier how your server really influences your experience of the restaurant. And I could hear other skippers going around to other tables, like really making a big deal of like, we're skippers, we're telling silly jokes, we're having a really goofy time. Ours didn't do that so much. She was a good server, but she just didn't, like, she told a couple jokes.
Yeah.
But
she seemed like she was new on the job.
She was maybe new, and she was low-key and maybe a little slow. I mean, slow attending, yes. You know, like, she wasn't attentive.
Be careful with the way
you
word things.
But I thought the food was good. I thought it was a cool environment.
Yeah, the food was good.
And I would definitely go back there, but it's like non-traditional theme park food.
Okay.
We did the Magic Carpets of Aladdin for the first time. You don't need to do it.
It's a camel spits on you.
I liked making the camel spit on us.
There's a camel that's like just outside of the spinny part of the ride, and it's like a constant stream of water coming out of its mouth. So if you fly high enough, you're not going to get hit by it. And Garrett kept trying to make us fly into the stream of water. Yeah.
To be fair, that's what I would do too.
If you're going to ride a spinny ride, probably ride Dumbo, because it's the classic. And we did that too.
And mine and Dad's elephant broke.
Ours was broken.
The Magic Carpets handled better.
Yeah.
So the Magic Carpets, there's 2 rows of seats. The front row gets to control how high or low you go, and then the second one controls the pitch of the carpet.
I think the second one is for the tiny kids.
Yeah. Dumbo only has 1 row, and you just go up and down. Our elephant would not fly to the top. It was a disappointment.
It wouldn't fly down either.
I was flying on the top most of the time.
Yeah, you flew all the way up, and Garrett was confused why we wouldn't fly to the top.
Yeah, I called you chickens.
Yeah. I guess, too, you got to throw the Astro Orbiters in there, because that's another spinny ride.
The Astro Orbiter's awesome.
Yeah.
Between the 3, you guys think Astro Orbiters is the best?
Mm-hmm. And it's high off the ground,
yeah, because it's up on Rocket Tower Plaza, so it's a better view of the park. If you have a fear of heights, maybe it's not the best idea.
Then do like the Magic Carpets, but it's awesome.
It is good. And you ride in a single row.
Yeah.
On the rockets. I think I agree with that. I think the Astro Orbiters are the best spinner.
We should have done it.
We should have done it. We'll do it next time. We've done it before. We rode the Liberty Square Riverboat.
Yeah.
Which is something we've never done.
And me and Garrett got steam drops.
I have a battle scar still.
Yeah. So it is a true like steam paddle boat.
It hurts whenever the drops fall on your head.
If you stand near the smokestacks, there's a chance that boiling water is going to splash out on you. And Garrett still has a mark where he got a burn on the shoulder. I was getting it on the top of the head.
Yeah, and they won't tell. They didn't tell you about it either.
They should probably put signs up.
Yeah.
That definitely feels like something they should do.
It's still on my skin.
Yeah. So there's 3 levels. If you go to the top level, there's a main smokestack on the boat, and then there's 2 small black ones on either side that are closer to the back. So if you're standing along the rail looking off into the water, like near one of those smokestacks, some of the little drips of boiling water might fly out and land on you. And they were hitting the kids, and I was like, you all are making a big deal out of this, and it's not that bad. And then there were a couple times that I got a really hot one right on top of my bald head.
It felt like a bee.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, that one hurt. I think I'm going to move. But here's what I would say about the Liberty boat, the Liberty Square Riverboat. If you ride it, don't get tied up to like just hanging out by a rail and saying, all right, this is my spot and I'm staying here the whole time.
Explore.
We walked around all 3 levels of the boat. There's like an inside area. There's like an inside cabin that has some like pictures and stuff you can look at. And then if you go down to the bottom level and go to the back, you can see some of the mechanics of how the paddle wheel works and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, walk all over, and it was a much better experience once we started like walking around, I think. And I think we like. And there's a voiceover that's telling you a story as you go, a Mark Twain voiceover.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's a cool thing to do. I don't know why I've never done it until now. You don't have to really wait for it because they take a bunch of people all at once. It was good. We did.
After that, we saw the Muppet Show.
That's right. We did.
So, something that I feel like I'm always going to remember, which I loved the Muppets and it was funny. I loved it. But Sam the Eagle welcomed his fellow Americans And others.
Yeah, he said
Those are the words that he used.
fellow Americans.
And I was like,
and others.
and he sounded angry when he said others, which is a little dicey, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, that show was very funny.
It was good. They actually do different versions of the show every time they do it. So the one we watched was the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere.
Yeah.
But they tell other stories too. And so, yeah, it's great.
We were walking past it, and we could hear the was it the Liberty Bell?
Yeah, the story of the Liberty Bell. They call it the great moments in American history. And when they say it, they say great moments in history, but only the American parts. Yeah. Yeah. And where it's located is like if you're going to Hall of Presidents and you're kind of looking at the entrance to Hall of Presidents, over to the right, there's a bit of a little alley that kind of goes around. And you can see, it's pretty obvious, actually, where the windows are that they use for the Muppets. Because before the show, they open up the windows. And so you'll see there's like a set of 3 windows over this building. And that's where the Muppets pop up and do the show.
But there's also in the building next to it, sometimes Sam Eagle will be in the circle.
Yeah, that's the Hall of Presidents building. Yeah. He pops out of that little top window sometimes. But for ours, he didn't. And it was a lot of fun. It's like, what was it, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was 10 minutes. That long. It was awesome, though.
Yeah. They rope off an area so you can't, like, pass a certain point. And we were right up in the front. We had a very good seat for it. So that was very cool. And it was a good use of the Muppets.
Yeah, and they should do more stuff like that. Or maybe give them their own little area, too. Who knows?
And it's cool to see. I mean, this is the Muppets and you're seeing them live.
Yeah, which is something they could do all the time.
Yeah, they could do different shows like that.
Yeah, because it's so easy. They're just Muppets. They're just puppets.
Yep.
No, they're not. They're real actors.
Those are real actors.
Anyway.
They're real to me.
They're awesome. Hashtag save the Muppets. It was very good. We did, at our break for this day, we actually went over to Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe and got to spend a little time listening to the sweet tones of Sunny Eclipse and his Astro organ.
Yeah, and have we talked about how they should have a little area for, like, Sunny Eclipse CDs and posters and shirts, like, right in front of him, like a little merch
They
area?
should. They really should have a merch table for Sunny Eclipse, honestly. I would totally be into that.
And his Space Angels.
The Space Angels, yeah. So we ended up getting some fries and we got some drinks, and that was where we decided to hang out. Also, there's a fuel rod exchange station in Cosmic Rays, which is really important. You got to know where those fuel rod exchange stations are, and we made full use of our fuel rods while we were there. But it's a good place to hang out, recharge yourself, and recharge your phone while you're at it. Yeah. And then that's when finally Mom got to join us that evening, and we ended up riding the TTA with Mom. It stopped. You know what's funny is when we were talking about on the Valentine's episode, the going through the pitch black parts of the TTA, we got stopped on one of those pitch black parts. Yeah.
So was it romantic?
It was so romantic.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, with the kids there and everything. It was great.
There was also there was a person behind us with a camera recording all of it.
But then we really wanted to have a good spot to watch Happily Ever After. And the show started at 9:15, so we went and scoped out our spot at 8.
Yeah.
And honestly, if we hadn't done it at 8, we wouldn't have got the spot we got. So if you really want a good viewing spot for Happily Ever After, you got to be thinking an hour ahead. I need my spot, at least. So we were in the hub, and Garrett, one of the things that happens to him a lot is taller people get in front of us and then he can't see anything because he's still a small chicken nugget. So we scoped out a spot. There are fountains on either side of the hub, and they have fences around them. And we basically got on the castle side of the fountain with the fence behind us so that Garrett could kind of stand up and sit on the fence and have and plus the way the ground is kind of laid out there, it kind of rises up a little bit towards the fountains. So even though there were people in front of us, they were slightly lower than us. So it was a really good vantage point. So even McKenna and Sam's not the tallest in the world. She wasn't blocked either.
This was Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
And the rails were attached to a stone thing that I was able to like balance my arm on, so I could kind of stand on the fence.
It was like a pillar,
So
a
I
stone
could-
pillar with a
yeah.
light on top. The lantern.
I could see even better.
It was really good. It worked out really well. It was a great spot. And actually, better be subscribed to our YouTube channel because I did record all of Happily Ever After from that viewing spot, and I'll be loading that later this weekend.
Quick question. Are you able to hear the show over the sound of you sobbing?
Oh, no. Actually, it's funny. I don't think I cried this time.
I cried.
You did. You and Mom did.
Cry. I never cry.
I cry.
Yeah.
I don't cry ever.
I know. You're a non-crier. I cry almost every time at everything. I don't know.
I'm constantly crying. And when I'm not crying, I'm about to cry.
Yeah.
When you're not crying, you're angry.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Teenage life. But what we did to pass the time. So we had an hour and 15 minutes before Happily Ever After started. So we ended up getting hot dogs from Casey's Corner. And this, again, a first. I have never had a hot dog from Casey's.
Don't
By the
get
way,
a foot long.
This reminded me, the fries at Disney World are really good.
Garrett's a big fan of the fries at Disney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get like any of the chili cheese fries or just like
I just
the
got
fries,
fries.
period?
He just likes the fries.
All right, cool.
I got, brisket was a theme because I ended up getting like a dog that had brisket on top of it.
Yeah, mac and cheese
Wow.
and bacon dog.
Yeah, yours was a mac and
My
cheese.
God.
And the footlongs are huge.
And they're so salty too. I didn't enjoy myself while trying to eat it.
So here's the thing to keep in mind. We were eating on the ground there in the hub in front of the castle, and these are if you get a footlong, it is unwieldy. Like you really need like to fork and knife it, especially with all the toppings and everything. And it just was a little bit inconvenient based on our seating and eating locale. You had a regular sized dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my experience was a little worse than it would usually be because I was feeling bad, so everything tasted like death.
Right, but that's not a reflection on
Especially
Casey's.
my service.
That is no reflection on Casey's
Well,
Corner.
I'm just saying I can't really give a real review.
The mac and cheese and bacon was very good on the hot dog. I shouldn't have gotten a foot long.
Yeah.
It was a waste of money for me.
It's a lot of food.
I didn't think it would be as it was a lot wider than I thought.
They're big, thick dogs. Yeah. So I was glad I ate all of mine. I ate my foot long, but it was a lot of food. And then we had fries too. We ended up with too much, probably. But that's what I would say to you, though, is consider, because we took the trays and we took them all the way out into the hub. I was actually like, is Disney police going to show up and be like, you can't be carrying food all the way out here?
I was going to ask, were you able to take the trays up there without any issue?
No problem at all. And actually, people, we weren't the only ones to, actually, after we did it, we set a trend because people around us they were like, where'd you get those hot dogs? Like over at Casey's Corner. And then there was a whole group of people sitting around us with trays of Casey's hot dogs. And we just put the trays on top of the garbage can. Nobody said anything. It was like not a big deal. So, yeah. I mean, I guess the thing is, you're allowed to bring food into Disney. They can't tell you where you can and can't eat it. You know?
That's true. Yeah.
So, I guess they would much prefer you to have like the tray and be able to take your trash and stuff like that back. So, yeah. So it worked out well. So if you're planning on posting up somewhere so you've got a good view of Happily Ever After. Well, it cooled off on us. We did get cool that night for sure. But grab, go to a quick service, grab you some food, and then just set up and hang out and enjoy the evening until Happily Ever After starts. And I
will follow y'all's advice. Maybe stay away from the footlong hot dog. Just get a regular.
Yeah, you may be good with a regular, especially if you're snacking throughout the day. You probably don't need a footlong. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll be fine without getting that.
Yeah,
it's an experience, but it's not the most pleasant one for at least me.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and Happily Ever After was amazing. And then, just a side note, after it was over, everybody was tired. They wanted to go home. And I was like, I haven't ridden Space Mountain today, and I'm going to go ride Space Mountain.
I didn't get to ride Space Mountain on this trip.
Yeah, so I booked it over to Tomorrowland. Sam took the kids, and they left. And so I ended up closing down Magic Kingdom all by myself that night.
Nice.
So yeah, I was like one of the last people in line that they let in line. They closed the line behind me for Space Mountain.
Yeah, because I was reading online that after the fireworks and the shows are done, if you're lucky, you can get in line, and if you're in line, they have to let you.
Yeah, if you get in line before the official park close time, and I did, and then they cut the line off, and then after that, I was like walking by myself through Tomorrowland and down,
had to be cool.
like down Main Street. I made a video of that too, that I may be able to chop up and put out there. So yeah, that was pretty nice. The only other thing we really didn't talk about was I wanted to give a little bit of, a couple things. One is, did you want to talk some more about Agent P's World Showcase Adventure?
I do, because so me and Dad were in Epcot solo at the time doing it, because Garrett wasn't feeling well, so he had to go to the clinic, so they were taking care of that. So I was like, we should figure out something to pass the time, so we're not really going around doing everything without Garrett and Mom. Mm-hmm. And I remembered that on the My Disney Experience app, there's the Agent P game.
Is it on that or is it on Play Disney?
Play Disney, not. Yeah. I get them confused.
Yeah.
I was on there trying to find fast passes. But
you can't get no fast passes on Play Disney.
But on the Play Disney app, you can go around the Epcot pavilions, and there are the Agent P games, and you can play them in any order depending on which pavilion you're in. It's not in every one,
right? But
if you go around and you have to go to the spots, because it'll ask you what's around the place, and to make sure you're actually there, so you're not just setting it off while people are there. It's really, really, really cool. And Agent P will pop up sometimes, and Doofenshmirtz will pop up sometimes, and my favorite was in the Mexico Pavilion.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and we don't want to spoil anything because it really is pretty neat, the special effects and the different things that you actually get to interact with that actually make things happen in reality in front of you. And so one of the reasons we did this, like McKenna said, we didn't want to be doing a lot of stuff without Sam and Garrett. So we were like,
you did something I wanted to do.
Well, we can do it again. Have a chance to do it.
And they're actually...
I'm joking around.
Different scenarios.
Yeah.
Depending on it, because I was talking with my art teacher, and he said that he got a coin. It's like the thing turned on itself, and it popped out an Agent P coin. I think you can only get that if you go to, like, the actual hub. We didn't go to the hub.
Yeah, there's actually like a kiosk that you can go to before you get started where they'll tell you all about it and tell you how to do it. But we didn't do that. We just went right into the game. But what I was going to say is that we thought that this would be a good way to pass the time without them missing out on something. And also, like I said, the parks were slammed.
Yeah.
So you almost... I told you about Grand Fiesta Tour having like a 45-minute wait. When we were in Animal Kingdom, Primeval Whirl had a 90-minute wait.
What?
Yes. Primeval Whirl had a 90-minute standby wait. And we were like, are you kidding me? Like, if that's...
I gotta lay down. Seriously?
Yeah.
90 minutes?
We were actually... When we were in Satu'li waiting to see if something was going to happen with Flight of Passage, I was looking around and I was like, oh my gosh, the lines are already so long and it's only like 10:30. And we started thinking, like, should we just go to a different park? But the thing is, every park was slammed like that. So this is one of those things you can do when maybe you don't have fast passes for Soarin' and you don't want to wait 2 hours. Why not do the World Showcase Adventure, you know?
Yeah, like, it's a lot of fun, too.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
It really was cool. And I wanted to say, so McKenna was talking about the Mexico one, the end of that one was her favorite. I thought the France one was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, but you can't get over to that area because they're doing the Remy the Rat construction.
Yeah, the Remy's Ratatouille
Where
adventure.
Where is he? Where is the rat?
Yeah, so they're
just lit up like a Christmas tree talking
about.
Oh,
she's so excited.
I'm so ready for Remy.
So it's a little bit blocked off in France, and you can't get exactly where you need to do some of the activities, but you can still complete still complete the mission, which we did, and it makes a really cool thing happen. It's neat. Like McKenna said, it'll tell you, all right, it'll show you a picture. It's like, go to this spot. And then when you get there, it'll ask you a question.
Like, what's on the side of this crate?
Or like, what color are the curtains? Or something like that. And you have to answer that to tell it you're there. And then it'll say, okay, you need to look up and to the right, like in the specific direction, because when you press something, it activates, whatever to happen, and they want you to see it.
Yeah, we scared some people because it'll set off noises and no one else knows what's happening.
That's awesome.
I did get a kick out of the fact that like some of the effects are kind of loud and sudden, and so people that are just innocent bystanders, like, what is happening? Like they had no idea.
When we were in Mexico, I heard a noise and I looked over and Agent P was up on a thing.
Yeah. And, I did hear a couple of people who had, I guess, they must have had no idea that this was something you could even do. We were in Germany.
Yeah, and they were like, are there lasers in?
No, what they said was, like, we're in Germany and we're hanging out, and somebody activated one of the interactive spots, and somebody looked up and they were like, Doofenshmirtz? Why do they have to incorporate all these IPs into everything? It's like, dude, you don't even know what's happening. Like, this isn't... They're not, like, bringing Agent P and Phineas and Ferb to Germany. That's not what's happening.
I heard someone, when we were eating our pretzel, they were like, isn't that pharmacist?
Pharmacist.
So whenever there's a part where Agent P will pop out of a window in Germany, and someone was like, do the windows just open in Germany in real life? Because they didn't see Harry. Like, what?
Oh, actually, German windows don't open.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, they're
People don't know that.
sealed shut.
Yep, that's the law.
So how we ended our epic spring break trip, two things. We went to Marrakesh for dinner in Morocco.
Which was amazing.
It was so good. Another place that has food that you probably wouldn't typically try. And we asked for recommendations from our server about what should we have. Sam's strategy is to say, what do you wish people would order when they come in this restaurant? And he recommended a couple things, and it was so good. We got lamb with couscous. We got beef shish kebab. We ended up getting a couple of different desserts. There was like a Moroccan baklava.
Which was good.
It was really good. And then
it was beignets.
Beignets.
They were
Moroccan beignets,
amazing.
And they were incredible. Yeah.
If you push down on it and snap it open, there's cream in there.
Yeah, there was like a vanilla cream. Oh my gosh.
And you can dip it in caramel. Oh my gosh.
Those would have given the Zeppola a run for the money. They were both very good. Yeah, but then we rounded it out after dinner. We got a good spot just outside the Moroccan pavilion to watch Illuminations. And again, another thing
is so cool.
Another thing that'll be going away soon.
Our torch we were next to kept going out.
Yeah. Our torch did go out a couple times. Again, it was a cool night, so we were close to one of those big torches, and the torch was actually kind of warming us up. We were partially obstructed by a tree.
Yeah.
But it was still, you could see everything that was going on. I wouldn't say that Morocco is the best place to watch Illuminations. Probably Norway, maybe over on that side. Japan might be a good place. China.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still got a good view of it, and I will be sad when Illuminations is gone.
Do we know when Illuminations is going away?
They just keep saying like late summer.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did see them doing construction out in the middle of the World Showcase Lagoon, where they're preparing for the show that's going to replace Illuminations. Oh, and out of all of our visits to the parks, well, it only really affects Epcot and Hollywood Studios. When you're in the parks, you can't really see the gondolas. So this is something that I was thinking about. I wondered how it might impact if you're in the parks. Can you really see the gondolas? You can't. In Hollywood Studios, you can't really see them. In Epcot, you can see them behind France. And because the station is going to be at the International Gateway, which is right there behind Canada and France, so you can see them coming in. But you can almost suspend disbelief a little bit and be like, there might be gondolas in Paris. I don't know, So
not in the
have fun with
it. No, maybe, who knows? I think it's a little easier to accept them considering you're in a pavilion that's supposed to be in like a city.
Yeah.
So it's like a mode of transportation. So, yes, it looks different, but it's at the same time, it didn't bother me. It's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I like the gondolas. I don't have a problem with seeing them. I think they're cool.
Yeah, I like them.
And I
too.
like Remy the Rat, so he's going to be on one.
So therefore, it's totally fun.
Yeah.
Now, gondolas should be fine. I don't understand why people get so bent out of shape over stuff like that. Like you said, it's going to be fine. You're at Walt Disney World. Chill out. Sorry.
So we still don't know when Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is going to open. That's still under construction.
Once that opens in Galaxy's Edge, I feel like Hollywood Studios would easily be a full day park.
Well,
if
Star
not
Wars
more.
by itself is going to be a full day. Even though it only has 2 rides. It's going
to be insane.
And it's only going to have a ride when it opens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll still be like a week spending in there trying to get in at least.
So, anything else you guys wanted to, any pointers, tips, anything for Landon's upcoming trip we need to remind him of?
Make sure to rest in the trip and just look around, enjoy it. There's so many cool things that you get to see. So if you just like observe what's happening around you and if you're not trying to rush, then you're going to see some really awesome things. I saw a lot of things I've never seen before in the parks, like just little details. Like in the Canada Pavilion, they have maple leaves on the fence. It's really cool. I never have noticed that before, and if I was rushing past, I would have never seen it.
That's some good advice. I like that.
The pavilions definitely provide a lot of opportunity to kind of slow down and explore. And like McKenna said, like we've never really gone back into the Canadian Pavilion.
That's so peaceful.
We've never really like gone back into the like back of the France Pavilion, or I mean a lot of them. It's true. The only one we really explored in detail was China and Morocco. I think were the
Japan.
two. Japan too, because we go into Mitsukoshi, the department store.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, we hadn't really done a lot of exploring, and there is so much to see. Epcot, you can definitely slow down and spend a lot of time.
And the Italian pavilion's really pretty.
Oh yeah, the piazza is beautiful.
A long time ago, when I didn't really know much about the world, I thought that the World Showcase had all of the countries in it.
That's a good one, Garrett. Did you really believe that?
Yes.
That's funny.
And one time, like a really long time ago, I thought that it was just like USA, England, China, and Mexico. And that was really all.
And the rest. And others.
And others.
And others, yeah.
So, Landon, what other things are you kind of thinking about? Do you have any concerns like going into your trip or any open questions?
My only concern is I'm not going to be able to do everything, and I already feel like I'm running out of time, and I haven't even started my trip. That's my only concern.
Okay, and my response to that is, you're right. You're not going to be able to do everything.
Yep.
So accept it now, and then just understand that the way that you maximize your enjoyment is just to make the best of what you do get to experience. You know, I
like that.
I really think that's my biggest takeaway as I've kind of developed as a Walt Disney World explorer. A wilderness. They need to have that branch of the Wilderness Explorers. You get your Walt Disney World Explorer badge.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but especially when the parks are slammed, you just have to understand, like, okay, I've got the fast passes I have. There's currently a 2-hour wait for, let's say, Tower of Terror. Maybe I don't want to do that because I could take 2 hours, you know, and maybe I could go over to Baseline Tap House and have a beer and relax for an hour, and that's better than standing in a line, you know. So just stuff like that. Just remember you're on vacation and enjoy yourself. And sunscreen, pack sunscreen, or you got to wear a hat.
Well, yeah, of course.
McKenna didn't think sunscreen was important.
The sunburn went away really fast. It was fine.
But I still don't want to deal with a sunburn on vacation.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
Well, yeah, of course, beer, duh.
You gotta. You probably should take like a refillable bottle, and like if you're gonna have a backpack in the park, have a refillable bottle.
Yeah, I am gonna either take a bottle down or I'm going to buy a bottle inside the park and just constantly fill it up. And because I know at every service table you can ask for
free water. Yeah, free ice water, and they do have some of those stations now where there's the fountain, like a water fountain, but you can fill up a bottle. You know?
Yeah, those are really cool. We have one at my school.
Yeah, and then
we don't, but the teachers are talking about getting one.
I would say too to pack. If you like peanut butter crackers or like snacks like that, just small snacks, because you might be in a line where you're like, I am going to wait this hour because I want to do this thing, but this might be a good chance just to get a little snack because you burn a lot of calories. You're going to do a lot of walking.
Hangry really easily, and when I'm waiting in a line and I haven't eaten, the ride's just not fun for me because I'm only thinking about food and I'm being mean to everyone.
I like that advice.
Another lesson I've learned is about souvenirs. I used to take the strategy of let's wait till the end of the trip to get souvenirs because let's make sure we see everything. And what if I buy this shirt today, but then I see one I like better tomorrow? No,
that's why I never get souvenirs.
Yeah, because I've trained you the wrong way, and we're trying to do better.
I mean, it was even on the last day of the park that shall not be named. It was even really hard to get the Hulkbuster thing.
But I actually had a similar experience last time I was down at Disney. I saw a souvenir. It was like, man, I'd really like that. No, I'm going to hold off. I got a couple more days. I might find something, and then lo and behold, I didn't find anything I liked more, and I couldn't get it.
Exactly. You know what happens to me almost every time? We go through like the Tower of Terror gift shop, and I love everything in there, and I'm like, but I'm going to wait because I don't want to be carrying stuff around, and maybe we'll come back, and then I don't, and I miss out on cool Tower of Terror gear, and that makes me sad. And it happens every time. This time we went to Memento Mori, the Haunted Mansion gift shop. And on our last trip, we went into it closed before we could get the stuff we wanted. So this time we went in right after we rode Haunted Mansion and we bought the place out. Yeah. So
Spirit jerseys are for all genders.
That Spirit jersey is awesome.
I have a Haunted Mansion Spirit jersey now. It glows in the dark.
It says Ghost Host on the front.
Awesome.
Yeah,
wow.
It's pretty good. And I got my cool new Haunted Mansion shades that were useful because I needed sunglasses.
There you go.
You know, Garrett got a cool Haunted Mansion shirt. The only thing he regretted is he decided he would have liked to have a Pirates Spirit jersey.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
It has red stripes on it. I think it's cool.
It is cool. Yeah. But we'll be back.
Very soon.
Another question that kind of occurred to me, and this just might be me being stupid and insecure. It's like, I see a lot of like age restrictions on some rides, particularly the character meet and greets. They say they're like for small children. It's like, but I'm gonna be a 34-year-old man, and I want to get my picture taken with Donald. Like, does that make me weird?
No,
do it.
Am I gonna get like you have to go talk to somebody after I stand in line?
No.
When I'm 50, I'm gonna give my picture with Donald.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they don't. You're gonna see when you get there that there are plenty of adults that do it without kids and get their picture made with
all right,
cool. Yeah.
All right, Again, all right, cool.
Yeah, the other thing too is this is just kind of general advice. A lot of times when you look at a menu, it'll tell you that like kids menu items are for kids from whatever to 9 or something like that. They don't stop you. Like if you decide like you're not that hungry and maybe you just want some chicken nuggets, they're not going to stop you. Like
I'm not going to be thrown in Disney Channel for ordering off the kids menu.
They're not like, sir, you are definitely older than 9. You can't have the kid. They don't.
You can't prove that.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Wear what you want, eat what you want, do what you want, as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
This is McKenna's platform. She's running for president.
I'm running. My name is McKenna, and I am running for president. Please vote for me. I will make horses illegal.
Why?
It's a bold strategy. I like it.
Horses.
Somebody's got to run on that platform. Might as well be you.
Well, Landon, I'm very excited for your trip. I hope that you have a great time. You've got 5 park days. Did you get park hopper for every day?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay.
So if I do run into a situation where I'm in one park and it's just like I feel like it's capacity, I might hop onto a different park and see what that looks like.
Yeah. And are you planning on like right now? And maybe you're going to be flexible with that 5th day, but are you kind of thinking that you'll return to a specific park, or you're playing it by ear?
As of right now, on that 5th day, I do have fast passes for some attractions that I weren't able to get fast passes for. So as it stands right now, I am going to use those fast passes. But I might get to that 5th day, and it's like, I kind of feel like I did some poor planning when it comes to fast passes, especially if I'm going to try and rope drop some. It's like, well, my dumb backside has all those fast passes for early in the day. Now, I know once I use them all, I can then, get another one. But at the same time, it kind of counterproductive for rope dropping. So I don't know. It's like I have stuff planned out, but I'm just going to play it by ear as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you got to be flexible. We made pretty good use of fast passes, and I would say this about fast passes. Don't be shy to get fast passes for rides where you don't think you need it, because even if the wait, let's say for example, you could get for example, Dumbo. Yeah. Let's say you could get a Dumbo fast pass. The wait's only 30 minutes, but you could get a fast pass, and you're like, well, a fast pass is going to save you 20 minutes.
I might as well.
So
that's true, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're using that rolling 4th and you're in the neighborhood, snag it. The other thing is, as soon as you scan your Magic Band and you're in the fast pass line, get back on the app, because now you can get that 4th again.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's good to know. I thought I would have had to, go through the attraction. Then they would reel it. Okay. Good to know.
As soon as you scan it and you're in the line, hop on there and update it, and then you can go start looking for your next victim. Yeah.
Good to know. And by the way, shout out to my Magic Band, of course. I went with the Lando.
Yeah. That's very exciting. You got your
one.
Yeah, the Goofy one's cool. You've got your Hatbox Ghost ears. You've got your Lando your Lando Magic Band. Do you have any Disney shirts you're going to be wearing specifically, or?
I did order a Epcot shirt that I'm going to be wearing when I'm walking around Epcot. I think it looks really cool, but other than that, I don't have any shirts or anything.
Because you got to dress for the occasion.
Oh, I know. Absolutely, dude.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I mean, it's cool that Disney is like, when you go to a day at Disney, it's like going to a convention or something, like going to Dragon. Like, everybody dresses up. Like, everybody. You got to. It's part of the experience.
You look nice for Disney.
You're in the spirit. Yeah, that's how you do it. Well, we'll be very excited to hear your report once you get back.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you all about it. I'm also going to try and do some social media stuff. I'm going to try and do the hashtag Does Disney. So
do it. We'll follow it.
Follow that hashtag, and who knows what's going to happen. Hopefully, fun will be had by all.
If people want to keep up with your Disney adventure, where should they follow you?
Oh, yeah. LANDOZ. Please go follow me. Landon Doan. I'm the best. Landon. Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather with allergies, but that's where you can find me on Twitter, 280 characters at a time. Also on a website, buttmunchchips.com, buttmunchchips.
Sit on your butt and munch.
That's where you can find the, as of now, exclusively posted Game of Thrones talk, a.k.a. God Talk, where myself and Hunter Reese and maybe cousin Kevin, will be breaking down each episode of HBO's award-winning series, Game of Thrones. Hunter and myself have a complete rundown of Season 7, and we will be firing the studio back up for the long-awaited, much-anticipated Season 8. And also might try and squeeze an episode of Near Fall Radio out before Mania this, I guess, 6 days from now when we're recording it, so who knows. And also I'm on the Phil show on News Talk 98.7.
Nice. Yeah, I hope we can make the Mania thing work, because
fingers crossed,
and maybe with a special guest who is extremely old.
There has been some talk of schedules. We're going to see what we can do, because he's apparently a very busy man. We'll make it work.
You know, these old people, they go to bed at like 5 p.m.
Yeah, they got to go get their early bird specials at like 1:30 in the afternoon.
The funny thing is, I don't think that's true about him at all. I think he pulls a lot of late nights, but yeah, I hope we can work it out. So we'll see.
Yeah,
as for us, you can follow us on Twitter at Morning Monorail,
at Gummy Bear King 2,
at Gummy Bear King 2.
I'm both of them. Both of them are me, except the one that is normal at Gummy Bear King. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, don't follow that.
We're coming
one.
For you.
We're on Instagram, Monday Morning Monorail. We're on Facebook. We have a YouTube that I encourage you to subscribe to, because there's going to be a lot of new videos going up. The first one I put up was the Living with the Land, the ride through the greenhouse. If you like Living with the Land as much as we do, it was a fun little ride, and that's a nice way to experience it when you can't be there. I'll be throwing up the Great Moments in American History with the Muppets. I'll be throwing up Happily Ever After, and maybe a little Journey into Imagination. So all that and more on the Monday Morning Monorail YouTube channel. So you look like you wanted to say something.
Oh, I just wanted to say that you guys can catch me breaking into Target at 3 a.m. So.
And my final words for this one are, how about those death claws, huh?
So you think you can dance?
Oh, well. All right. With that being said, and for Samantha Monorail, who had to drop out early, she's no longer here. Thank you all so much for listening. We will talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.
C'est la vie.
Merci.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for riding with us today. We hope you enjoyed the journey, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, we want to hear from you. Send us questions, comments, and suggestions on Twitter at Morning Monorail. Our email address is mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. You can also call our voicemail at 407-917-2144. As we approach the station, gather your belongings and please watch your step as you exit.
See y'all real soon.
Dogs.
Right.